Just try to be gentle. Simple. Detangle properly. Make sure you are cutting your hair. Use leave-in conditioner, scalp massages, and it'll just feel a lot better if you shampoo less. Showtime. Hey everyone, it's Ariel. Welcome back to another video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm sharing some tips on how you can get your best hair ever in 2021. I figured it's a new year, it's a good time to set some new goals, and hair goals should definitely be a part of that as well. Instead of making just any old list, I figured why not make it a list of 21 tips, being that it's the year 2021. So I thought of 21 of the best tips I could think of for healthy hair and for growing your hair long and keeping your hair healthy. So that is what I'm going to share with you today. This is 21 hair tips to get your best hair ever in 2021. Hope you enjoy the video. Tip number 1 is to be gentle. So this one, it seems obvious, but between like the tight buns and tight ponytails and just different styles that most of us are always doing to our hair, and all the accessories we're always putting in our hair, especially when that random bobby pin gets stuck in your hair. I know we've all been there. There definitely tends to be a lot of like ripping and pulling and just like tugging your hair elastics out or your bobby pins or whatever you may have in your hair. It's actually really not good for your hair. When you pull out that hair tie or whatever it may be and it gets stuck, you might end up causing breakage, and we obviously don't want breakage. So instead of ripping and pulling at your hair elastics or any of your hair accessories, just try to be gentle. Simple. Tip number 2 is to detangle properly. So speaking of being gentle, detangling is definitely something that we can be a little too rough with, and it definitely can cause a lot of damage and breakage as well if you're not careful. So it's important to make sure that when you're detangling your hair, you're detangling from the ends and going up, because that way you're not going to be starting from the top and potentially causing breakage all the way down and like ripping those knots all the way through your hair. If you start at the bottom, then you're not really leaving any room for breakage to happen because you're just working tiny section by tiny section instead of ripping it all out at once. So definitely make sure you are detangling properly. I did post a video on my channel pretty recently on how to detangle your hair properly. So I'll leave that linked here if you haven't seen it. In that video, I do show like step by step what to do and kind of demonstrate it on one of my mannequins. So check that out if you need to know how to detangle your hair properly, because it's so important. Okay, tip number 3 is to make sure you are cutting your hair. So important. And I know it seems kind of backwards to cut your hair when you're trying to grow it long, but it is so important if you want your hair to grow long and healthy, because you might get long hair if you don't do regular trims, but it's not going to be healthy. You're going to have a bunch of dead ends, a bunch of breakage, and just it'll be long, but it'll be thin and just damaged, and it won't look good. So it's important to make sure that you are regularly trimming your hair. Usually it's good to aim for like every 6 to 8 weeks. If you are growing your hair, you can maybe stretch it a little bit longer, but it also depends on the condition of your hair. So 6 to 8 weeks is kind of a good guideline. And if hair salons scare you because you've had bad experiences in the past, or you're not able to get into a salon right now with the whole pandemic situation, make sure you check out my DIY haircut tutorial. I have 2 of them on my channel, but yeah, I'll leave one of them linked up here so you can check that out as well. And that'll show you how you can cut your own hair at home, so you don't even need to walk into a salon. You can just trim your ends regularly at home. But whatever you do, make sure you are trimming your hair. I think I'm gonna lose track of which number we're on, but okay, we're only on number 4. So tip number 4 is to use leave-in conditioner. So if there's only one product that you're gonna use after you shampoo and condition your hair, definitely let it be a leave-in conditioner. This is the most important product that you can use in your hair, no matter what type of hair you have, what texture, what, you know, curl pattern, whatever. It's so important to just maintain moisture in your hair after you've shampooed and conditioned it. It's ruining my YouTube channel. But just a little bit of leave-in conditioner can go a long way, and it can do wonders for your hair, especially if you haven't been doing this in the past. You're definitely going to notice a big difference when you start using some leave-in conditioner. So again, please, in 2021, make sure leave-in conditioner is part of your hair routine. Trust me, you will not regret it. All right, tip number 5 is to keep it moisturized. When your hair is dry, it's a lot more prone to damage and breakage, So even just something as simple as spritzing your hair every day with a little bit of water can make a huge difference in just the overall health of your hair. So spritzing your hair with water, or even just something like adding a little bit of a natural oil to your ends, something moisturizing that's just gonna like add a little bit of moisture into your hair, but definitely make sure your hair is staying moisturized. Now, speaking of natural oils, tip number 6 is to use natural oils. A few of my favorite oils to use on my hair are argan oil, jojoba oil, and sweet almond oil. These really make a difference in just like dryness and frizziness if you struggle with that. I definitely do. Just adding a little bit of these oils to your ends can make a huge difference, even all the way up to your roots if you want. Just be careful because it might make it oily. But if your hair is feeling dry, try just adding a little bit of oil to your hair, especially the ends, and you're definitely going to notice that your hair feels a lot more moisturized, a lot less dull. It's going to be shiny and just healthier in general. So this is definitely a good thing to add to your routine as well. Okay, tip number 7 is scalp massages. So I actually did a video on this as well pretty recently. I did 3 different ways that you can do scalp massages, and these are really good for increasing hair growth, and it can also really soothe your scalp if you get like dryness a lot, or if it just feels like itchy and kind of irritated. Doing a scalp massage can help a lot with that. I'll definitely make sure to leave that video linked either here or in the description, because I do talk a lot about like more of the benefits of scalp massages, as well as my favorite essential oil blend, because those also have their own benefits added in with the natural oils. But yeah, scalp massages are great, and they also make you feel super relaxed, so that's just like an added bonus. Tip number 8, don't shampoo every day, please. There are natural oils in our hair follicles called sebum, which is what can make your hair feel a little bit greasy sometimes. These natural oils are very important, and our hair definitely depends on them. And every time we shampoo our hair, we are stripping our hair of those natural oils. Your hair needs those natural oils. And even though your hair might look a little bit oilier if you don't wash as often, your hair is going to be a lot healthier and happier too, because it has those natural oils keeping it protected and moisturized. So instead of shampooing every single day, try to shampoo like 3 times a week, 2 times a week if you can get it that long. Kind of experiment and see what works best for you, but definitely don't shampoo every day. It's really gonna harm your hair, and it'll just feel a lot better if you shampoo less. All right, tip number 9. I'm still keeping track. Tip number 9 is to wash with warm and rinse with cold. So pre-shampoo, when you just rinse your hair and get it nice and wet, use warm water. And then when you're shampooing your hair, use warm water as well. And then after you put the conditioner in, use cooler water. It doesn't have to be ice cold, just cooler than what you would normally use. But what this is gonna do, so when you use the warmer water to shampoo, it's gonna really help open up the hair cuticle and make sure you are really getting your hair clean. And then when you use the cooler water after the conditioner, it's gonna help to seal in all that moisture that you just put in and really lock in and close the cuticle back up. So this is a really great way to help retain moisture, a great thing to add to your routine. Also, make sure you're not using like scalding hot water, because that can really damage your hair as well. I'm just throwing that tip in there. Okay, now speaking of shampooing and conditioning, tip number 10 is to deep condition. So conditioning with regular conditioner is important, of course, but it's also important to deep condition your hair. Deep conditioning regularly will help to keep your hair healthy and strong and just protected from any of the damage that you might be doing to it during the week. And it's especially important if you have naturally really dry hair like myself. I have naturally curly hair, so it tends to be extra dry. So any like extra moisture that my hair could get is great. But also if you have any type of damage to your hair, so heat damage, color damage, whatever it may be, it's really important that you add in a deep conditioner to your weekly hair routine. And I always try to do it once a week. You can do it twice a week if you feel. Everyone's hair is different, so kind of play around and see what is best for you, but I would say once a week is kind of a good baseline to work off of. And my favorite mask is the Aveda Damage Remedy Intensive Restructuring Treatment. This one is like a damage repairing powerhouse treatment. It works so well, and you can instantly see and feel the difference. It's from the same line as the Daily Hair Repair. They both have quinoa protein in them, so they put that into your hair and give your hair an extra boost of protein. I love using this one anytime I'm using heat on my hair, either before or after or both. And it's definitely by far my favorite hair mask. It is a little bit on the higher end, but it works so well. And it's one that I swear by. I've been using it for years. I would definitely recommend this hair mask. This is my favorite. Tip number 11 is to limit heat. I know we all like to use heat on our hair. I am definitely guilty, but it is not the best for our hair. It can really cause a lot of damage, especially if you're doing it really regularly. So try your best to limit the use of any hot tools, whether that's the blow dryer, the flat iron, the curling iron, anything like that, because all of those things strip our hair of its moisture. So the less you use those, the better off your hair will be, and your hair is definitely going to thank you. And since the goal is to try and use less heat on our hair, that brings me to tip number 12, which is to switch up your style a little bit. Even though you're trying to use heat less, you might think like, how am I gonna style my hair? What am I gonna do with it? But there are so many no heat hairstyles that you can do. You just really have to experiment or play around with your own hair and figure out some no heat hairstyles, but there are definitely lots. If you need some ideas, I do have a blog post on 5-minute hairstyles, so they're super quick and easy and you don't need heat for any of these. I will leave that link in the description if you need some ideas. There's also always Pinterest. Pinterest has ideas for everything, so check there if you need some ideas as well. Now, tip number 13 is to avoid coloring. So I think this is another kind of obvious one. Color along with heat damages our hair, but I know some people really rely on their monthly color or just switching up their style every now and then by trying a different color, but it is best to avoid it altogether. But if you really need to, just make sure your hair is really healthy before you put the color in. So don't put color on damaged hair. Trust me, I have done it. You don't want to do it. It's just gonna cause more damage and all kinds of problems. So make sure your hair is healthy first, and then after you color it, treat it like gold. Treat it so well, because anytime you color, it causes a little bit of damage. So just take a little extra care after coloring or lightening or anything like that, just to make sure you can repair that hair and kind of replenish some of that moisture that was lost during the color and get it back to good health. Okay, tip number 14. How long is this video gonna be? Tip number 14 is to avoid doing too many tight hairstyles. I am honestly guilty of this one, I will admit. I do wear my hair in like a lot of tight buns and stuff like that, which is not good. The thing is, if you wear your hair in the same tight bun over and over every single day or just really often, I mean, if you think about it, you're just putting pressure on the same spot over and over and over. So that causes tension on the same hair strands over and over again, which then can lead to breakage. So instead of wearing your hair in the same style all the time, try to switch it up. Try to wear your hair in a high style one day and then a low style the next day, or try to wear it down one day and then up the next day. Just try to kind of always be switching it up rather than always doing the exact same style, and that way you can save yourself from a lot of breakage and damage. Tip number 15 is to use soft hair ties. So try to use anything soft whenever you can, like a scrunchie or a bobble, which are my personal favorite. Just something that doesn't get stuck in your hair really easily, especially those elastics that have the little like metal piece on them. Those are so bad. Try to at least use the like ouchless hair ties, the ones that don't have any metal on them, or scrunchies are really great. Even a headband, use that as a hair tie. Anything soft is going to save you on breakage and damage, and I will leave a link to my favorite hair bobbles in the description. I like those ones a lot because they don't leave a line of demarcation when you wear your hair up. So those are my favorite, but anything soft is better than anything not soft. All right, we are getting there. If you're still here right now, I'm proud of you because you're dedicated to getting healthy hair, because this video is probably gonna be like an hour long. But tip number 16 is to use a satin pillowcase. I have one of these, I love it. It makes such a big difference because think about it, when you're sleeping, your hair is rubbing all over the sheets, the pillowcase, everything, your blanket. So get a satin pillowcase, just do yourself a favor and get one. I got mine on Amazon. Again, it will be linked in the description. It's just gonna provide a nice like slippery surface for your hair to glide on versus something like a cotton pillowcase or microfiber, which is even worse. Those actually like suck the moisture out of your hair as well. So yeah, just get yourself a satin pillowcase and your hair will thank you because it's not getting broken and rubbed all over your pillowcase. You will not regret it. A few more tips left. So tip number 17 is to find the right cut and style. So to me, I think having the right haircut or hairstyle is pretty important in keeping your hair healthy, because if you have a cut that you don't like or you don't know how to style, you might end up reaching for the flat iron more often, or the curling iron, or just like color, anything that might possibly make your hair sit better or make it work for you better. So it all really starts with the haircut that you have. So try your best to find a hairstylist that you can work with in finding a cut that you really like and that you really know that you can style and that fits with your lifestyle. And ideally it would be something low maintenance, because I mean, how many of us really like doing our hair? The more low maintenance, the better, really. All right, tip number 18 is kind of an obvious one, but drink water. I know everyone says this, not even just like in terms of healthy hair, just like in general, like drink water, but really it is so important. Obviously drinking water hydrates you, and so in turn it's going to hydrate your hair, and your hair is just going to feel a lot better and look a lot better. So make sure you're drinking water. And then going hand in hand with drinking water comes number 19, which is eating healthy. Obviously what you eat is important for your body, but it's also important for your hair. I personally have been eating more protein and fat and less carbs, and I've noticed that that has made actually a really big difference in the health of my hair. It grows faster, it looks thicker and just like shinier. It just overall looks and feels healthier. So just try to make sure you're getting the right food and incorporating the right nutrients in your diet, and a healthy diet equals healthy hair. This next one goes along hand in hand with the last two as well. Tip number 20 is taking vitamins. Vitamins are not completely necessary as long as you're getting the right nutrients from your food, but sometimes that's really hard to do, and it's really hard to even know if you're getting all the right nutrients from your food. Like, even if you eat healthy, you might be missing, one nutrient that you may not have even thought of. So along with supplementing our diet, vitamins can also provide some important nutrients for our hair. The ones I'm currently taking are fish oil and vitamin D. I actually don't take them regularly right now, but I'm trying to get in the habit of it. They each have their own benefits. Fish oil has omega-3, which helps make your hair shinier and stronger, and vitamin D helps prevent hair loss, and it can also help to stimulate both old and new hair follicles, so it can help with new growth as well. But of course, do your own research before deciding to start taking any vitamins, because everyone's different, so everyone needs different things. So don't just take my advice. I'm not a doctor, but yeah, vitamins can definitely be beneficial for our hair as well. All right, the final tip number 21, track your progress. So I feel like this is a fun one, because if you're putting all this extra time and energy into making sure your hair is healthy or getting your hair healthy from a bad state that it's in, you should keep track of your progress, because that's gonna excite you and it's gonna motivate you to keep going if you can physically see the progress that you've made in your own personal hair journey. So take pictures, take notes, take measurements even, so that you can come back every month or every couple months and really see the progress that you've made. But yeah, guys, those are my 21 hair tips to get your best hair ever. That was like so many tips. I thought this was a good idea, and then I started writing this blog post that I have to go with this video, and I was like, whew. I started feeling like dizzy at the end. I was like, this is a bad idea. 21 tips. I feel like 21 is a lot. But hopefully you guys found something helpful in here. Hopefully it gave you some good ideas of things you're gonna add to your hair routine, ways that you're gonna reach your hair goals this year and then every year after moving forward. So hopefully you like this little video. I do have a blog post that goes with this video, but I did want to make a video version obviously for my YouTube channel. So hopefully you liked it. If you did like it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Hit the little notification bell so you get notified every time I post. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram at @stylebyaariel_. I'll leave that linked in the description as well. And also check out my blog. It's stylebyariel.com. I post beauty and lifestyle, some fashion on there too. But yeah, I think that is it for today. Hopefully you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.